Howdy ho. Good afternoon to everyone. Hi. What can I say? I am back, I guess. Sort of. Probably a bit. At least for today. And I'm doing Ace Attorney. How much more to say? Just gonna be playing Ace Attorney. At the very least, do what I can on this. Just relaxing. At least for the next 4 hours, so I decided to stream it up. Felt like it, and doing it. I guess. No, I felt like it. Yeah. I'm just gonna play Ace Attorney. It's nice to see everyone again, possibly. If anyone does appear. Otherwise, yep. I'm just gonna be playing Ace Attorney Chronicles, and that's about it. Not much to say, realistically. Anyone might be asking where the hell have I been, or what have I been doing? Having a hard time finding a job. Outside of that, like, yep. So here I am. Gonna play a little bit of Ace Attorney for today. So I have no idea where I was in this. GAA2 episode 2. Was I at the beginning? Did I actually start this chapter? Okay, I do remember. Let's see how much I do remember. The last chapter. I think it was the death of the murderer from the first case in GAA1. I think she died, and she was killed by the journalist guy. Pretty sure. And we weren't playing as Naruhodo, we were playing as Sato, disguising herself as a cousin of Naruhodo, which was something. I actually do remember having quite a nice time with that one, so okay. Let's see where this goes, what the next one is. Because I don't know if I did start the second one, or if I ended it right before. Okay, I ended it right before. Is this the Lope Dark? Last time I checked, it's a Dark Lope, but sure, close enough.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night.
Oh, there you go.
One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated.
Okay, so I didn't forget completely yet. Hello, Raffaello, how you been? How have you been?
Just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved.
Oh boy,
but
Sherlock
no
Holmes.
sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, then in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight,
Still gotta finish your PDF.
bizarre crime rend the stillness of
Hey,
the
Black
very
Ripple,
night.
it's Sherlock Holmes. Yes, it's Sherlock
I
Holmes.
dare say most
Right.
consider
I forget about it.
sensational headlines of the day.
Good luck with your
Haunted
PDF, buddy.
apartment of death.
Has to be done, has to be done.
Condemned criminal's curse. The dread demon of coal gas.
It's all Sherlock Holmes. It's not like Elden Ring DLC announced type I am. Oh yeah, I saw that. That actually looks really good. It looks really good. I don't have Elden Ring, but like, holy shit. I imagine anyone that's like an Elden Ring fan is very happy right now.
On a most tragic play.
Like, extremely happy. Also, objection, Black Reaper. I did see it. I did see your figgy. How are you doing? Welcome to the good old return of Ace Attorney Sundays. An Ace Attorney Sunday to chill, read, and do terrible voice acting. Average day. Except when I'm playing Ryunosuke, then I just use my normal voice. Because, obviously. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer, just starting out on my journey. Nice to meet you. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a famous world detective. Yep, Sherlock Holmes. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and uncomfortable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Man, I'm a little exhausted. College, driving lessons, and things like that wouldn't together cause a huge debuff. Oh no, fuck! I know the pain. Like, college is very exhausting. Can be very exhausting, and especially if you're doing also your driving. Look, at least the positive of the driving lessons is once you're done, and usually won't take more than like at best a year, I'd say. Like, that's if everything goes wrong. But yeah, no, it's everything together is very taxing on the on your fatigue overall for a person. Man, just the only positive I can tell you is good luck. How am I? Still looking for a job? Because goddamn, I can't find one. It's fucking pain. Oh well. And I am not used to controlling my swears anymore. Uh-oh. Good job, me. Oh well, it's not like I'm getting anything. Yeah, that's about it for my side of things, unfortunately. I'd like to say I have a lot to talk about, but it's like been very dead month overall since the last time I streamed. Like, it's just it's either be looking for a job and basically it, and not getting any. That's about it. Also, still waiting on my new medicine for my problem. God damn it! Because of like the hospital I go to has changed management, and so they're having a hard time. Goddamn, getting access to the medicine. And I'm like, god damn it. Well. Anyways. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. That wasn't me, I swear. I swear to God, that wasn't me. What a delicious smell. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. What a mess. Yeah, it's a mess, man. It is. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholm's suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. God, that felt awkward to say. Jesus. That was an awkward line in my opinion. Ah. That just reminds me of the old, like, typesetters. Those big ass machines that are like on paper and then you just clink. Sholm's suite. Fudge, what the hell did I use for a voice here? Good question. It's been ages. God, can I even do that anymore? Bruno, good. I was just about to call it up to you. The bacon's ready. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another one, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, I do remember his. I don't care. His was, I remember. I really went over the top on this one. Huh. Okay, yeah, the Abe voice. Yeah, this one I remember. Or like Sholmes' voice, I will not forget. Her voice, kill me. Iris' I'm screwed. This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, I see. So that's it. A little too close. A little too close. Jesus Christ, I've never had a... That's way too close, Sholmes. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have, this very morning, met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt. somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has. And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember? By you.
Apparently pulled your button off.
I guess he did. Why did he pull his button off his jacket off? Oh yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? Yes, it was. As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? And I'm going way too over the top. Well, wonder when that in my vexation, I grabbed the first one I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I cannot fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Hurley, Bruno said he, when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Yeah, he didn't quite hide it, Sholmes. That is true. Poor Sholmes is still making very either obvious deductions or very wrong deductions. Nothing has changed. Well, there really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire. The famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There cannot be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. Yep, definitely not a single one. Everyone loves our Sherlock Sholmes, and we all know it. Sherlock Sholmes is great, I'll be fair. I love Sherlock Sholmes, it's so good. Refresh.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My little special blend.
I am trying. And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, as published in Rand's magazine. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Suzy you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. Oh, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh yes, what fun!
God, I am not used to Iris's voice anymore. You can frickin' tell. It's like, oh, did I ever get used to it? Maybe not, but like now it's even worse. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh, not another word. Ah, yes, I see. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck, and for winter use. Good to know that the badge for attorney badge for this game is now officially a dog collar. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Or the armband in this case. Not the badge, in this case it's the armband. Precisely, which leads to by one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. I do love the show them the badge. It's useless in the context of the story, but it's like I always usually get like some funny reaction, and I love it. Miss Susato's letter. This is the letter. Barking, hey, ruff, 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 woof, woof. Basically, this is a letter that arrived from Japan this morning by international post.
Oh, how lovely! Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case!
Huh. Really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
Yes, she is. A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped the man. Twice! Literally, yes. You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago? Oh, the mustache twisty man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. You just mustached twice.
You didn't have 2 mustaches early.
Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Sorry about my nose. Still a little runny. Although I must confess the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you. Clearly. Mm-hmm. I feel like at this point Naruhodo is just done with... I swear to God, Naruhodo is just completely done with the... with Sherlock Sholmes shit at this point. It's like, I don't care anymore. It's like, yeah, sure, nope. That moment of just, I don't care anymore. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. Fucking hell, Sholmes. God damn it. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in our letter, Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigated further. Well, it took place half a year ago. For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Wait, what? Oh. What thickens? Oh. On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes. Why we got the goddamn fucking what was his name? McDonagh. The one I gave a fucking very bad Irish accent. Any take on Andromeda, our favorite mid tank. My take on Andromeda? Very simple. Based. Okay, but for reals though, like, my take on Andromeda is simple. Waifu material, yes, 10 out of 10. As a unit, yeah, she's good. You're fine. She's okay. It's a good tank. It's a fine tank. I guess I'd use her if I needed, like, if it was like a fight where I needed something to taunt and survive a while. I don't know, as a farmer, she's okay, but I've seen better. As a boss fighter, she's good, but I wouldn't say stellar. She's good. However, waifu material, absolutely 10 out of 10. You should summon for her. Purely out of waifu material. Like, design-wise, mwah. Chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss out of the design. If you haven't gotten the point, I'm gonna summon for her when she comes around on NA, obviously. Like, goddamn. When she does come out on NA. Until then, well, I gotta wait. Anyways, back to where I was.
And I had combined the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, he said. And mysteriously as well.
Oh, I think I remembered her voice now. Yeah, I'm doing it correctly now. I think it was something like this. Really? I said that? Are you sure? You perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan. Ooh, Sholmes hidden shit from us. Ahaha. Miss Susato's repatriation. Really? That's how it's called? Repatriation. 1 second, I actually have to check. What the hell is repatriation, supposedly? That is a word I'm not very aware of. Repatriation. Return of people, money, or objects of cultural heritage to the country of cultural origin. Oh, interesting. The more I know, the more I know. Wasn't aware of what the meaning of the word, the exact meaning was. Okay. You only had 1 Discord notifications.
It's been 4 months since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Also, if you're wondering on news on my FGONA account, not a lot has happened realistically. I guess I did get Melusine before the end of last year, but I don't know if I already said that. Like, between January and this month, like, I've gotten enough. I haven't really tried to get anything. I'm saving up for Charlemagne in June, when he comes out in June. So until then, I doubt I'm gonna get any other characters until Charlemagne comes around. So that's about it. Because, you know, Charlie's my boy, and hey, I'm getting him. Yes, because our father had passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, same for me on JP, except that I got Yui. Oh, nice. Congrats. Shosetsu. You got Shosetsu. Nice. Congrats. I understand she's pretty good, actually. So, by what I remember seeing, she's really good. That news about our father's fever was just a ruse. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I believe it, man.
A ruse? Oh. So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Why would he do that?
She is, especially with someone like Bazette, Ushi, Summerscotty. I have one of those 3 you just said. I have 1 of 3. Goddamn. I also remember seeing the Plushie video recently. One of Plushie's recent videos. And I think I saw it's like him and another person competed to see which did more damage. Either Ushigozen or... If Ushigozen or... what was it? What's her name? Fuck, I forgot her name. Durga Kali did more damage, and then Ushi did more. Woo! Hooray for quick units, I guess. A W for quick units. Jesus Christ. They really, like, they really, like, put the values on Durga very low, didn't they? If Ushi goes and is doing more damage. Oh my god. Ugh. I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. I did miss the music on this game so much. I missed it quite a lot, actually. Watch me and my nose, goddamn. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder where Mr. Sato's father is hiding.
Harley, do you know what it's all about?
Oh, well, he sure got his jacket on quick. Oh, well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. And then stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man, for in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Harley. Harley, don't worry. See you later.
Bye. He scuttled off rather quickly there. Scuttle off. Haven't heard that one in a while. I think perhaps Professor Mikotowa isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Haha, I found them at last.
Iris, are they...
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The Cage of the Haunted Lodgings. You want to read them, Runo?
Yes, please. Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. Ooh. Is this new music? I think this is new music. I don't think this was in the first one. Yeah, I feel like this is new. I don't remember this music being in the first Great Ace Attorney. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
Well, let's see. Can I actually get the notes to read? And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail, I just need to find a clue. And I have all the time in the world. What the hell did I just hear? Because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. What the hell? Wait, was this because of that case, the last case we did? That's why we can't anymore, like... Oh. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Is it the case I'm thinking about? Oh, wait. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in the back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. Okay, the fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but... by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time, and was duly arrested. Soseki-san. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Oh, god damn it, I thought I was done with this guy. What was his voice again? I forgot his.
Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation!
I think something like this was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. I completely forgot his voice. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart at once. Yeah, I know it's technically, but Ryunosuke is talking, so I'm counting that as his voice. So Susato-san and I summoned a handsome and headed immediately to the I am learning new words today. What is a handsome? Oh, it's a type of, like, old cab. Okay. An old, like, okay, that's what they were called. Handsome cab. Okay. That's a new... damn, I'm learning new words today. That's the second one today. Holy moly. I just want to leave this out there. I look at the mouse on the right side, like, look at it, it's so cute. Look at the little mouse over there. Aww. Little mouse. Aww. Probably shouldn't be saying aw for that, but there you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not.
Oh. Oh.
You're late! What on earth took you so long?
Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. And it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
That's right. And it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. She is a... oh. This time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Oh, hello. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back.
Her name is... Ah, yes, here we are. Miss Green.
Okay. Can I just... I need to do this.
A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo. An enormous mouse.
Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But...
It looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
That is true. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, this hospital looks very bad. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Oh. Well, I guess that was important.
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruto. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the height.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Yeah, no, that's understandable, don't worry, buddy. What is with that statue neck? This rounded wooden thing isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruto. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full figure before.
Well, if you want to draw a full-figure person, it's the right tool for the job. True. I feel like it's yeah, probably. Okay, let's see if we can talk with her. Good morning. Jesus Christ, my nose. Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruto from the Empire of Japan. Oh, god damn it. What the hell do I do here?
Oh no. Was it your knife that... Are you the man who...
I don't know what to do here. What do I do for her voice? It's not like I have a lot of possibilities for female characters, so... I have no idea. Holy shit, this is one of those hard ones. I am not doing what I did with the maid again. No, I refuse. No, that ain't happening. My voice, last time I did that, my vocal cord, that hurt my voice. Oh god. Plus, I don't think it fits. No, no, no. Refused right now. Let's see.
Oh no, what? Was it your knife that... Are you the man who... Are you the man who...
I don't know, I'll go with something eventually. I'll figure something out. No, I'm a lawyer.
And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one... No, I assure you. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes for me. Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist.
I think this is fine. We'll see if I...
Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist.
I don't see any weird mannerisms for me to make like an exaggerated voice.
But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. So, she's lacking confidence, so I guess it's gotta be a more nervous voice. I guess what I was doing is decently okay. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes. Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? While I've been here in hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madame. Spectacularly but other than I, Herlock Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes? As you well know, it was Mr. Naruto's hard work in court that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? One sec.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never regain consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Jesus Christ, woman! Calm down, it's not... Gee, it's not... No, a little bit more confidence, please. You're making me actually feel bad here. Oh, God.
Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Wait. What? Wait, what? Why Blue? What? I feel like I'm missing something here. Right? Like, I'd say Blue would be like Blue with envy or something, but... What? Like, Blue with envy... If she was envious of someone else, I'd say Blue with envy instead. Yeah, I guess Blue instead of Green. But like, no, it's Green with envy. What the fuck is Blue for? Why Blue? You know what, chat? I don't know. I don't get it. This one I don't get. I guess there's something... Is it like... Blue is like a very shy color or something, I guess? Is that why? Like, I have no idea. I give up. About yourself. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green?
Oh no. Oh, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh.
Oh my! An Academy of Fine Arts. Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh, no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. How very interesting.
Oh no. Is it? Is it?
Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Center. Does that matter, Mr. Schultz? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means? I suppose the Saxon does fit the bill. It strikes me as someone out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. Sorry. Nose is still recovering. What's this? She suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Ha 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 ha! Oh dear me. Do forgive me.
If you don't mind, I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Well, that was... Oh! Okay. Is there a Mr. Narrowfodder here? Mr. Narrowfodder? I don't know why that makes me laugh. Narrowfodder now. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsbag. Look, I know it's normal for there to be really stupid names in goddamn this attorney, but god damn it. That's too many, that's 2 in a row, please, calm down. My really bad funny bone can only take so much. Please. Saucy. Stop, please. I can't. Oh my god. Wait, did that fuck up the camera? No, it didn't. Thank God. Oh god, please, no. Oh my lord, I'm dying here. Why did this get me so hard? This makes no sense. Okay. Okay. I'm better now. It's a message for Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. From now on, Natsume is forever known as Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. I don't care. Punch me. I can't anymore. Give me like 1 second. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. I need a minute. 1 minute. Oh. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, let's go. Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume? Sent a message to me?
But why would a policeman... why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Oh, what are we waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? He says. Have you not seen this note? No. How could I have? You literally took it from me in less than 5 seconds. It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once.
Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what?
I'll hail a fiacre at once.
For what? God, that's a new one. What the hell is a fiacre? Oh, a carriage. Wait, this is this. Jesus Christ, how many words for carriage are there? Literally. How many are there? Like, how many words for carriage are there? It's like a hansom, a fiacre, an actual carriage, a buzz, technically a buzz, I guess. Like, what the hell? How many versions of the word can you use? It was only yesterday that Saseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there was a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time. But we were soon to discover that it was worse than we thought. How bad could it be? I'll be fair, every time anyone says, how bad can it be, it usually leads to just, yep, way worse than you might have thought originally. Like, how bad can it be? Extremely bad. 10 billion times horribleness. Oh! 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 Sticks. Well, that's bad. What on earth?
Oh my, the gentleman is diseased without question. He's dead.
Locums. Oh no, not again. Not you again. Fine. There are seemingly 66 words for carriage. What? 66 words for carriage? Oh my god, we're doomed. I'm doomed. I'm gonna fight. Like, we already found, well, technically 3. I guess 4 words by now for it, so yeah, fair enough. Jesus Christ. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? Carriages were coming all over the road, so a lot of luggage have one. Huh. Okay, that is true. That is, yeah, you know what, that's fair. And then you get to accents, regional differences. Oh, basically we're screwed. Basically. Yeah, then that would mean, yeah, that would mean there would be a fuck ton, yeah. Yeah, basically we're screwed. I've only just got out of court. Yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Awful worm without wiggle. And then you... I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! Not the horrible Erlock Sholmes. Anyhow, Hackney Coach. Yeah, fair enough. Shut up! Show yourself the door. I never invited you. This is gonna kill my throat.
Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Oh, hey, Gregson! Here they are already, the busybodies. Oh, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Huh. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, Sunshine. Where's Iris when we need her? Well, this is a start, isn't it? Wait, we can go left? What is that? What the hell? Oi! I said hands off! You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance! I know your kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some matter in here, isn't there? Oh my god almighty. Alright, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Yep, seems like we don't have a choice in the matter, do we? Hey, Gregson. Off topic, but close to my school is a small mall, and there's a shop that sells a box of fries. Kitchen 10 for 9.15. That's damn good. Fish and chips. Fish and chick. Yeah, exactly. Oh, huh. That's a cool. That's actually, like, I wish I had, like, something like that. Usually, like, close to my school is a small mall, and there's a shop. That actually pretty decent. Actually, I wish like the closest thing I remember from my time, like when I was in college, like that was a really good like place which actually sold ramen, and I was like very happy for it. That was really good. Fish and chips, well, it's not something you find very regularly in Portugal, though. There isn't much of that, funnily enough. Not exactly something we find a lot in Portugal. So. Not a thing here. Not much of a thing here. And we are basically a coastal country. But fish and chips specifically, it's not something... A lot of like... We have a lot of fish dishes, but not specifically fish and chips. So, not that specific one. So, kind of weird. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. Mr. William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here. Did they really just... seriously? Those one of... I'm going to kill them. It's a sham! William Shakespeare. Oh my god. Oh my god, we got a... Hey man, it's not the real one. It's obviously a sham. It's not a shake. We cannot shake on this. It's obviously... No, we can definitely shake on one thing. It's a sham. Okay, I'm gonna start with the terrible attempts at a pun now. As you could probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens. Or just dead.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mr. Shakespeare.
It was the landlord, old Mr. Garrideb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garrideb got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Garrideb have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Soseki-san. The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life, and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the culprit. I mean, cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Yes, he did.
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Poor man. How unfortunate. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch that body. Well, let's talk with Natsume. Maybe he's got... What a terrible thing to have happen. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. Why'd anyone kill him? He always seemed to be a trash society. That is indeed a good question. He is like, by Braxton's description, he feels like literally the bottom of the bottom barrel. Like, if the barrel had a bottom, he probably dug like through the barrel and made a new bottom to the barrel somehow. Like, literally, it's like he's that down there. Who the hell would want him dead? Like, it feels like this should be like some kind of accident, realistically. Either that or, you know, the worst part. Suicide. But it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't look like it was one, so probably an accident. That's what I'd say, probably. This probably was an accident, hopefully. Let's be fair, this is an Ace Attorney. It's never gonna be an accident. So, the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just one story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. Actually, technically, there is one Ace Attorney case which was a murder, but it was an accidental murder. Or at least, kind of an accidental murder? Kinda? But it's like the wrong target got killed. So technically it was an accident, but not really, because it was still someone tried to murder, but it was supposed to be someone else. Okay, you know, that case anyway, that case sucked anyway, so it doesn't matter. For anyone that might be wondering, I'm talking about the big top. The big top case, the circus case. That garbage kind of a case, in my opinion. Ugh. Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? Soseki? Soseki? What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It wasn't innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yep. When we found him here, I felt wretched. Which is why I sent word asking you to come. For that inspector over there. Well. I don't even know what to say to this. It's just, is Erlock Sholmes trying to like make a JoJo pose? Is he attempting a JoJo? Are we making? Is this a JoJo reference? Is he doing auditions for the Pillar Man? Because I don't know at this point. I feel like he's trying to make auditions for the Pillar Man in JoJo. Okay. Anyways, let's go. Mr. Sholmes. What are you doing? Ah, you need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating naturally. Yeah, you sure? I'm pretty sure you're just making a JoJo pose. There's nothing natural about that pose. Yep. Again, JoJo pose. Accurate.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madame. Patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. You know, that's quite a lot, realistically speaking.
My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Shom says significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Oh, that's a new face. Also, God, this is, I'll be fair. This could lead to a stuff of nightmares, by the way. This face could be used for some nightmarish shit. Quite literally, goddamn. I'm pretty sure you could use this for some really weird creepypasta shenanigan. Like, I outright believe Soseki can be used as like a creepypasta material. If it exists, I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it, though. Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Shom's deductions? No, please. Pretend I'm not here. Invincible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Shom. Spare no detail. But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Shom in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? Oh boy, here we go. So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. My favorite part, by far. For Herlock Sholm's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Oh, I love these. Woohoo! It's been a while. Please let me, please the music, please. Huh? Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Oh god. Foam at the mouth of the disease clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Fail. Being fair, it's not one of these worst deductions, I'd say. But it is wrong. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Really? Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of that plate. The soap and the laughter about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. What? What did I just read? Poisoning from soap ingestion. Who the hell would even eat soap? Like, I don't think anyone under their right minds would even think of that. I think. The cause of death identified. We proceed. Cook, my man, cook. Basically. The cause of death identified. We proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I somehow doubt it. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. Was it? And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. Jesus, we're saying inferior a lot today. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on his way to the hereafter. Cleanse with soap, I get it. God damn it. No possible perpetrator present. Conclusion. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. Something very small. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was.
Do you really think the man would have eaten soap?
It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary.
No, Susato, do not get tricked here. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
And it did?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it.
Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh, what's that?
It's Mr. Natsume. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out on the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touch a nerve somehow. Nonsense.
Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last.
I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deduction may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
Well, here we go. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Well, yep, sounds about right. Let's get to it. Alright then, let's see what we can do.
Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions. and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense.
If we can do that,
I'm sure we will arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
in that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Well, here we go again, and this time I actually have to use my brain cells. Or whatever brain cells I still have, realistically speaking. Still not sure how many brain cells I do actually have left. Oh well, we'll find out. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. I know that sounds delusional. Maybe he is that one. He just purposefully says bullshit to get us on track. I know, right? It's all just to make us actually think, like... It's like, he could give us the answer, but like, you know, let's just make it a little different so they have to think a little bit. I'll guide them, but I won't give them the answer kind of situation. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the disease clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposefully on the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. To repeat that the man was about to eat it, of course, the fork reveals the answer. Nope. Well, you can't deny that the fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap?
Something material that... Wait. I'm gonna take a... Wait, there's some... Is it just me? There's something there. Oh, it's just part of the hat. There's like another bit of soap down there. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspeare must really have loved this stuff.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruto. Look closely at this soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table?
What the... How can that be?
I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
So, fuck. The man about... Of course the fork reveals the answer. Like, no! He was not about to eat this. The other piece of soap obviously says no. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table, in short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Very, yeah, definitely, yeah. Nice comeback there, Sherlock Sholmes. A nice comeback. You're trying. It's fine. You understand. You're trying, buddy. So good. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruto, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Something I doubt. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then.
Perhaps he suggested the man licked the soap rather than ate it?
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. but there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? Nope. I mean, when you think about it, there's a goddamn freaking teacup. Wait. That's counting. It's a goddamn teacup. Yes, a Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dry tea leaves. That's the technical lingo for that.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo. As you well know, stop putting on airs. And it's empty.
So we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea.
I thought exactly.
So, the teacup. He drank. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. You know, that is actually relatively accurate, if I'm not completely wrong. Like, it is much easier to, like, if I'm not wrong, to just poison usually. Like, in a lot of stories, basically what gets poisoned the majority of the time is, like, the drinks. The drinks are usually the thing that gets poisoned the most. I think it's because it, like, I don't remember exactly the reasoning, but it's because it hides it better, I guess. Or it just dissolves better. Or something of the genre. Just so it's less noticeable. I think it's some kind of argument on that department. But either way, don't poison people, please. Indeed. Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poison over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Poison the local water supply? Got it, boss. Gonna make chicken nugget. We'll be on phone. Okay, dog. See you in a bit. Yeah, basically, poison the local water supply. But the cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. The Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspear was having a drink of tea. There should be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggested. There's more to this suggestion than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues.
Okay, so the single teacup. Wait. Did nobody notice this? It's another Western vessel for infused...
It's a teacup! And it too is empty.
Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand.
We can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamspear was actually drinking.
Oh no, but if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we deduced up to now is turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it.
Yes, I know exactly how you feel.
We have to, though.
Take that!
This other teacup. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper, there was a guest present. Why did they use... At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night taking tea with the victim.
What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable.
To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however certain. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Nope. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now.
I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the Alcyon days of eating too much soap.
But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Can we look that way? There's a candle down there. Wait, a pot? A pile of books. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see, the titles read... The Picture of Monsieur okay. The Saw Canterbury Yearnings and A Meal for Gaboria.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but... They're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed, Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. Oh no! What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't want to know what to make of it.
Yep. I think we found the answer, Chad. Oh shit. I had a feeling. Be fair. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment.
No, never. Non-negotiable.
If you cannot bring your own copies here, it proves that those 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. God damn it. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. Oh god. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor... was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Erlock Sholm's gate deduction. Soseki Natsume at the sea. Well, sticks. Deduction complete. Elementary. Copyright infringement after that. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait. Hold your horses. Yes? Door, key, lock, entry, exit, entirely impossible. He's so flustered he's being even stranger than normal. What? You think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But, misery me! Back to jail you go. Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. Ah, you horrible Herlock Sholmes! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but you have to help me. Please, please. I'm innocent. All right, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. Oh, right, the cat. I forgot about that. He did have a cat. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Soseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. True. In this case, I think we are at fault. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. And of course...
What?
Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garrideb, who discovered Mr. Shamspear.
Mr. John Garrideb, yes. I expect we could find him in the sitting room on the top floor as usual. Wait, was that Ryunosuke who said that? Oh,
I expect we could find him in the sitting room on the top floor as usual.
Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Well, let's figure some stuff out. We might as well examine the... Wait, there's something there on the ground. Is that just me? What's this?
What's this?
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the ladder was open.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room. There's no sign of a letter, or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there?
She's right. And yet here we
are. Here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We better take this just in case. Torn off end of envelope has been entered into court record. Hey, we finally got our first piece of evidence, finally. Only freaking hour and a half in. Let's see, something that I think we should check, like the teacup.
One of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guest drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Namsme was drinking from.
But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. The pair of teacups has been entered into the court record. Let's inspect the body.
Oh, the poor man, so young to die. I suppose it was very painful death, being poisoned as he was.
I don't know. All we can do now is hope they'll be born into a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. You think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Sorry?
Made sure I had a reference at the Radies for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now. One moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Jesus. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind.
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Ah, I see. Yes, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. Where is the slot? I think it's that on the top left or something. Probably the thing on the top left. So you mean, if you put a coin in here...
That's right, that would buy you about 2 hours of gas for light and eating.
So, if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold.
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. That can, sure, Erlock just comes around and is just like, that can be changed. My dear Naruhodo, that can be changed very easily.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though? For the nightly Shakespeare performances. Oh, there we go, Shakespeare reference.
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
This I have to see. You know what? I'm fine with that. Susato with a beard. Yes, please. A judge beard. Let's go. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Miss Garydeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyways. It's so much cozier. You know, I can kind of agree with that. Also, damn, he really is like... That is... Oh, well, be fair, the window is... Yeah. Look at these extravagant riot costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with its grim, shady goings-on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. Wait, really?
Oh, I think it'd be more suited to a feudal lord. A daimyo or such like.
With a Chonmage topknot. Shonmage topknot. Every Japanese man wishes he had a Shonmage. Shonmage?
Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a Shonmage and a sword? Anything else over there?
There's not much on these shelves, is there? just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks.
Yes, he's so reckless with these wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy.
You can suggest it next time we meet. Yeah, I feel like somehow you're getting a no. Just checking around the room. I guess there's the wall, I guess.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. Vestige of the former tax that Britons had to pay.
What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. It really is a weird ass thing. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. That is something for sure.
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh, no.
What is it, Miss Susato?
If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
Oh, wait, really? Oh yeah, look at that. 3 of them are... Oh. Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out. A few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room.
Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What? Outside?
It's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap.
It did show all last night. It could be cold. But more importantly, what is on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? Why the hell does he soap? Why was there soap outside the window? Why?
I have no idea.
But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
Look rather...
No, that was not MC.
Look rather charming like that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are 2 after all.
Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh? What's this? Look here at the soap. You see, in the middle here.
What is that?
There's a patch that's different. That's a different color. It's sort of transparent. Like some sort of fancy design, I suppose.
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose? Only in Great Britain.
It looks like the Inomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? Then what's he doing in this ramshackle old room? The bar of soap has been entered into court record. Huh. That was a little weird for a bar of soap. And no, it's not a fancy bar of soap. It's probably some shenanigan there. I'm gonna say this is Gregson, so... Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Yep, knew it. Inspector Gregson, back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low being back in the cells again so soon.
I'm sure. We should probably go and, And this just became an episode of The Walking Dead. Well, this is the start of The Walking Dead, the Ace Attorney edition. Well, chat. Grab you. We're gonna have to grab some guns now. This became The Walking Dead, the Ace Attorney edition. Here we go.
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm not doing that. I am not sure what I'm gonna do for this character. Out of the brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets is out upon the stage, and then is heard no more. No, no son of the next part. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed. Oh, happy day. What? Walking Dead! Yep, it really became Walking Dead. Well, welcome to The Walking Dead, Ace Attorney Edition. The fella isn't dead at all? What was that nonsense he was saying, Vo?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Proud heaven and earth, I alone am the chicken one. Glad you got your chicken. And you just missed The Walking Dead, Ace Attorney Edition. I don't know, you might not have missed it at all. But yeah, welcome to Walking Dead.
A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare. Hey, there we go, there's an actual Shakespeare in this. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. Attempted homicide? I think at this point it's just attempted homicide at this point. So at least it's not a murder case, it's an attempted murder case. Alright, switch.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It is very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced.
Obviously attempted Shams. Fuck me. I'm laughing a little too much today, holy moly. I am on a good mood, it seems. I did not think I was in a good mood. I take it back. I'm in a good mood after... I am in a good mood now. I 100% am in a very good mood after this game. After starting this game, for sure. I went from meh mood to very good mood in the span of, like, 2 hours. Oh my god.
It seemed very likely it did consume poison with this, but was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Hopefully so. Oh, what's this? Hey, it's the... Ain't that good here? Yeah, exactly. For once, that's actually pretty nice to hear. No actual murder happened. Might have just been either an accident, or attempted suicide, or attempted murder. Either way, it's not actual murder for once. Not that it's much better. It ain't. Don't take that as justification for anything, people. No. It's still not a good thing to do. What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Suseki's-san's lodgings.
Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me. Do we have a word? What the hell? Oh! What the... What did I just see? He just ran off.
feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
I do too, but I don't remember. I think it was one of the, what is it? One of the jury. He was part of the jury, I think, at one point, I think. Was it part of the jury? I think it was. There is something there I need to examine, though. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Miss Garrideb live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows the property had.
That's still such a weird tax.
In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows.
For being so little, sure as hell has a very connected population. I know, right? It's supposed to be extremely big, but somehow we keep meeting the same people over and over again. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district cannot afford to pay to have the work done.
I think it's more of a case because genuinely, I think the cases have been very, like concentrated, like, in this... Like, this is, like, the second or third time in the same street. So, it's not completely unusual you see, like, these same people in the same street. But I would be shocked if I saw Mr. Garrideb, for example, like, in like, the prosecution, like, the attorney building. Like, then I would be like, what the hell is he doing here? That's the one I'd be going a bit question mark. Like, this, it's still logically sound that you could see the same people over again because you're just passing through the same spot at basically a similar hour as well. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
I wish I could play I wish I could stream for you guys like the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink game. I might give it a shot one of these days, but it's like, unfortunately, I run that at the lowest settings possible. It's the only way it runs on my computer. I'll give it a shot one of these days, but prepare for not the best quality, unfortunately.
There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garrideb residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Beer in the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though. Especially the front wheel. I got no knowledge on Grand Blue. Is it extensive? It's quite... I mean, the Grand Blue I want to play, you probably don't need to know about Grand Blue much, but yeah, Look, it's easier if I say this. It's a mobile game. Grand Blue Fantasy, originally, the first one, is a mobile game older than goddamn FGO. That should probably tell you how much story it's got attached to it. Yes, it has a lot. It is quite extensive in general. But thankfully, Relink, you don't need to play the mobile game to enjoy the game. As a game, the game is very good. And the story is like, it's fine, the story I'd say, but there's like, there's better stories. This is what I mean. But the gameplay is really good. That's mainly my prerogative on the game. It's very good gameplay. Fuck it, it's good enough that even freaking Asmongold is playing it. Come on. Like, Jesus. That is actually shocking.
Is that to make it more of a challenge to write, do you think?
Do you think?
No, I'm afraid that may be the result of the writer's incompetence. For the wrong reel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the writer may have been similarly afflicted.
Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think.
Oh dear, I fear you may be right.
Yeah, that could actually be real. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to go somewhere else, maybe? Oh, probably. The Garridebs or the prison cell? We already went there, we're here, so we cannot go back into the room, so... Let's go to Mr. Garrideb. Let's go talk with Mr. Garrideb. Maybe he has... Let's go talk with Mr. Garrideb. Oh yeah, Mrs. Garrideb is in jail because of the accident. It was still an accident, but yeah. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Garridub's the one who discovered the incident this morning. And don't forget.
Hey, Mr. Garridub.
Ah, you chaps, eh?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday.
It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garridub as anyone, really.
Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning. I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling me that's exactly what happened, Mr. Garridub. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room.
Jesus, man, he has a fucking popularity. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Yep, it seems to be just general knowledge. Oh, he's getting up. Huh. Nice to see you, Mr. Garridub. Been a bit. I mean, like, half a year now, probably. This morning's incident. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened.
Well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door.
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course.
Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour.
That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Hey.
Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that.
Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? I feel like there's some shenanigans going on here, as per usual. When can we get one of these where we don't get shenanigans? You know what, it's a journey. There's always shenanigans. He knows, exactly. He has knowledge. He has inferred knowledge that we do not have. Holy shit, he knows something. I know you know something, and we will get it out of you. Some way, somehow, we will get that knowledge out of him. What's my favorite kind of fruit juice? Peach. That would be peach. Peach juice. Pear, I don't really like pear much, but mine would be peach juice. I actually really like it. I like the sweet. I like sweet. The weird thing is, like, it's a very sweet fruit juice, but it's also like, well, which is quite rare because, like, I'm very like picky with like sweets overall, comparatively. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of like. I'm more of a I prefer like salty stuff like over sweet stuff overall. I'm very picky with the sweets, basically. But funnily enough, my favorite type of juice is fruit juice is peach juice. Meanwhile, which is really weird. But it is what it is. It's usually the one I drink the most. But yeah, in terms of like, but yeah, like I there was a long time, for example, like especially with the sweets things, like I didn't eat like chocolate cake at all. I did not like chocolate cake for a long while. I didn't like it. I was extremely picky. Nowadays, I'm fine. I like it much better nowadays, chocolate cake. But like when I was like young, like hell no. It's like someone put chocolate cake in front of me. That shit is staying in the plate. That shit is staying on the plate. That was something. Oh my god.
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
Mr. Shemspeare. The victim's name is Mr. Shemspeare, I believe. sake, that name. Is that right? Yes. Yes. Yes, William Shakespeare. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Damn. Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has bally screw loose. So hard to choose which category Soseki-san will fall into. True.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude.
He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. It's Romeo and Juliet, but okay.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author.
Funnily enough, I've never been obligated to read Shakespeare. Portuguese schools actually do not obligate you to read Shakespeare. That's actually something I did learn later. We have our own books we have to read, obviously, but Shakespeare is not one of them. And mayhaps Shakespeare is not one man at all. Maybe he is not. Maybe it's a plethora of them. Who knows?
He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
It seems incredible that Shakespeare was short to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. Except for us, I did read A Midsummer Night's Dream on my own, asked my English teacher if I could borrow a copy, lol. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, it's like a really weird thing. Yeah, obviously we have our own books to read instead. That we are obligated to read. Usually, funnily enough, one of them is basically a religious book, because Portugal being a bit Catholic, quite a bit Catholic, being that the Catholic Church is very ingrained in Portugal overall. One of them is basically just, it's basically a religious book. So, that one's something. Anyhow, Oberon's a fucking cunt there. Yep, fair. Yeah, true. I believe in men. Oh, that's why you're a big fan of Oberon. You also read the Midsummer Night's Dream. Nice. Huh. Nice. Nice knowing. Being fair, my knowledge of Shakespeare is very low. I do need to read one of his books one of these days. I really should. In English. There were a lot of cautions in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. Imagine he and Mr. Shakespeare would have had much in common.
Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
Is she reading his memory? Is she reading him that easily? So as usual, ye. Basically. In fear of repercussions, Natsume lied about him and Shem being friends. Yep! Once again, Natsume lied again. God damn it, man. If you stopped lying for 5 seconds, maybe we wouldn't be having this issue. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight by here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between them and this morning? Well, now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Mr. Derrida noticed that there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shakespeare got back. And the chap was up till past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Jesus. He was up until past morning. Damn. God damn. That's quite the time. Suppose he met his end some time after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Yes, it was. Is everything alright, Miss Susato?
Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garrideb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs. Not with this blasted leg. You know what? Understandable. If my leg was completely screwed up, I probably wouldn't want to use stairs either.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean.
Ah! Don't fall. No, no, don't fall, my man. You can do it. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. How many floors are in this building? Like 3? Does this old man, like, spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a bally outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
Then, how did you know, Mr. Garrideb?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? Okay, this one I have to hear. What the hell? The gas tells him everything. Now I'm getting way more confused by the second chat. Quite literally getting more confused. Also, 1 second, I need to check something. What's going on here? Like, what is going on right now? Well, I guess more than... It just takes me a moment. Fair enough. Well, I guess my just deserves. That's fair. Oh well, let's move on. Speaking gas. What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I more or less worked that out.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to get the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual, and that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it?
Yes, of course. Because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
That's supposed to happen, though. It sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Long worn out. And barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here, and they grow brighter in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So, by watching the flavoring of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense than the gas talk to him. You never know, maybe Mr. Garrideb accessed his moon powers and literally now can literally listen to gas. I just said a phrase. I literally just said a phrase. I'm not sure if it's a good phrase, but I definitely said a phrase. Huh. Well, man. Well, shit. Oh, I didn't read that. What was it?
Oh, of course, because when people go back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires.
Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garida. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really. And I can't really see what it's going to help us with the case either. Oh, and I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garadov is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity.
Well, we've done
as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
a good idea.
Well, let's go to Mr. Natsume's abode. Or, in this case, prison. There's actually more buildings up there, I didn't even notice. Ha! Oh. Yeah. Here we are again.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Oh god, kill me. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess, you're talking about Mr. Sholmes.
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But what is diabolic deductions? They're not of this world. They've left me. Cursed. I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the abduction, too.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news.
Oh? The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible! Oh. I'm stuck in the cell, suffering for some really wrong end of the stick. Again. Again, by the way. You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer, like the mustache. What does the mustache have to do with any of this? The mustache is fine. There's no problem with the mustache. Constant questions. I'm sorry to hear that. That selfish shyster. Make sure I know what the description to that word actually is. I've heard it before, curiosity here. Oh, it's literally slang. Huh. Slang word for someone who acts in a disreputable, unethical, or unscrupulous way, especially in the practice of law. Huh. It's quite literally slang. Huh. Okay. Just make sure. Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you're going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspeare was never actually dead in the first place. Yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last.
Oh,
Whoops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? Yes, he did. 100%, no questions. I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume. We need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? Well, what did he do this time? One day after he got released from jail. I just want to leave this out there. It's been one day, technically, in-game, from that case where he's been out of jail. And he's already back in jail. We got him out of one murder to put him into an attempted murder a day later. God damn it. What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell. But, Mr. Naruto Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping with that accursed case yesterday. The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back.
it's hard to believe that was only yesterday.
After that trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So, you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before! It was the first time! Then, what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I rode back at the house. We got chatting, and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Garrett said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I brewed as a gift. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then.
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yep. Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
I'm sure.
Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. And the debate became very heated. So you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspear's tea? No, never. Not at all. Team Juliet won. That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it categorically. Well, I guess Juliet won. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Bear for a year now, and in that time, I've learned that it's no place for me. Oof.
It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. Makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find a respite from my fears. I moved more times than I can remember. And then, 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. Also, one sec. I need something. My voice is starting to crack. Quite hard. this helps a little. Where was I? But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me.
Back on main. Okie welcome back to your main account.
The rent. Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupant, the man who lived here before I took the room, died there.
Ooh, that is, my condolences, Soseki. Right. I feel bad. I feel bad for him. My god.
Oh no. He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why.
God. 1 second, Chad. I'm having a problem here. Okay. Sorry, there we go. Do something.
And no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. Horrible history is a small price to pay. I realized it would mean I could buy more books. I signed the lease like lightning.
Brave or blinkered?
But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful?
There's something really bad in that room, basically, going on.
How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes pouring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls have died in that room. I leaned over me in my sleep and tried to strangle me.
That really is horrible.
And now that I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shem's spear was writhing in agony for the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
Oh, wow.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
This is very weird because, look, technically speaking, Ace Attorney history has shown that there are supernatural elements in the Ace Attorney world overall. Especially the original Ace Attorneys. There are supernatural ones, but in the Great Ace Attorney, up until this point, the current point, I don't think there's a clan of spirit summoners. Yeah, exactly. There's a clan of spirit summoners. But up until this point, at least in the Great Ace Attorney, specifically, there has been none of that. It's been pretty grounded on general, kind of general reality overall. Like, there has not been like a supernatural element yet in the Great Ace Attorney at all. Everything has been decently explained, so it's believable. So maybe this is the start Or maybe it's bullshit, and something else is going on here. Yes, oh. Yes, you're right. I know it, and that's why I'm already searching for the next room of history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
True. Also, ouch. Oof. Zato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garrett? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, you'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, would not go near that place.
Perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements.
Oh, you mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his flat rooms. What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh dear. No, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. And what's important is that Mr. Champspeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Please, but... Excuse me? Who is it? Oh, Grex. Excuse me. Inspector Grex. I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh. Oh. Which you'd want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Not fair. You know what? Fair enough, Soseki. Right. Well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Then why did you ask me my preference? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Champspeare, was just unconscious. He's come round now. Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory. Literally. Still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What?
Why ever not, Inspector?
Well, Mr. Champspeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone?
Oh dear.
You don't mean... I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointing the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Ah! My sweet poison that he seeketh to end my life. The wicked skater, Soseki Natsume. No. So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be waiting to make the necessary preparations. No! Back to courtroom we go with him. He really has the worst luck. My God almighty, it's impressive. At this point, I feel like he deserves, like, almost a trophy for how bad his luck is. Like, it's that bad. My lord. Like, give this man an award for shit luck. Like, actual shit luck. Jesus. And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. To be continued. Oh, nice. Oh, that was actually more sure than I thought. Yeah, okay. Save your current progress. Yes, please. Save it here. Okay, let this run a bit before I say something. Pickle, stop it here. Oh my god, no. Let me go. Let me go. Game. Okay, chat, I think we stop it here for today. Relatively shorter stream, obviously, if you didn't get the point already, but we're giving it a break here now. We will see if I come back. I'm hoping, hopefully, gonna try to be a bit more... Yeah, DW. I'm gonna see if I can be a little bit more regular with my streams from now on, at the very least. Still not promising I'm following a hard, you know, a hard schedule, but I will try at the very least my best to make the streams a little bit more regular, at the very least a little bit. And at this point, if I break this promise, like, I'm not blaming anyone if you decide to just leave permanently. At that point, like, if I do break this promise, feel free to just forget about me, leave my Discord, go away, and leave if you wish. At this point, like, I don't really deserve people around. Even the people that have been around for the longest. At that point, a lot of people already are leaving generally, and I don't blame them. Till then, I'm back at class, so I can only be there at weekends and Friday, Tuesdays in the DW. I think people know you have a life. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's true. Either way, I will try my best. Tomorrow it ain't happening though, because I do have to deal with some stuff. Tuesday I might be able to, but we'll see. Anyways, chat, I hope you enjoyed this little small stream of Ace Attorney, and I will be seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.